Welcome to another episode of the Bandage Podcast, a weekly wrap-up of the most trending healthcare news. Each week, we'll discuss the latest in healthcare, health IT, and compliance.
In this week's episode, we discuss the effects of coffee on mortality rates, LeBron James creating a new clinic in his hometown, Akron, and funding issues for new suicide hotline. Let's wrap things up. This is episode 139 for the week of June 13th. I'm Matt Moneypenny.
And I'm Albert Battistelli.
Before we get started, our diagnosis code for this week is W2 1.04 or struck by golf ball.
That'd be pretty rough.
Classic, getting hit in the head with a golf ball.
Right.
Terrible.
That could be really dangerous. Yikes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a little ball that goes very, very, very fast.
Yep.
It's designed for speed.
Yep.
Is getting hit with a baseball or a golf ball worse?
Ooh.
I would probably say a baseball.
I would probably say baseball too. I don't know why. I don't know what reasoning I have for that, but more
what's the
surface
traveling
area
speed of a golf ball?
Yeah, I don't know.
The ball velocity at impact is approximately 148 miles per hour.
Oh.
But by the time the golf ball speed hits the ground, by the time the ball hits the ground, I can't even read. Their miles per hour is 47.5 on average. So by that definition, you're not getting hit with a golf ball at launch speed, Albert.
No, not usually.
It's going to be after it falls down from its initial hit. So that's not as bad as a baseball, but still dangerous.
Right.
Anyways.
Either way, if you can avoid being hit by baseball, golf ball, basketball, whatever, just try not to get hit.
Yeah, right. Just, look out. There's a reason why people say 4. That's
right.
Why. When they say that, watch out.
Yep. Hit
the deck, and then get into this next story, which is mortality versus coffee.
Whoa.
Many people like to wake up in the morning and have a cup of coffee, including myself. A recent study found that moderate consumption of coffee, both sweetened and unsweetened, was associated with decreased mortality. Earlier studies found that decreased mortality risk associated with drinking coffee. They did not distinguish between plain coffee, coffee with sugar, and coffee with artificial sweeteners. The study included over 170,000 participants, and researchers followed up with participants over an average of 7 years. The observational study, while not conclusive, found that moderate coffee consumption, about 1.5 to 3.5 cups a day, even with added sugar, likely was not harmful for most people and appeared to be associated with a 30% reduction in mortality risk.
Whoa.
These findings suggest that people who drink coffee can continue to do so with no cause for worry, which is good news for a large portion of the population.
It's good news for me right now, currently at this moment.
Yes.
Drinking
so there you
coffee.
go. Honestly, I feel like there's an underground medical coffee researching world, because I think there's two sides. I have heard studies that say coffee is found to hurt people, and then it's like the next day it'll be like coffee
their heart
found
rate,
to
makes them more stressed out. Yeah,
right. And then it'll be like coffee increases lifespan. Coffee increases mental stability. It's like
right.
I don't know. Maybe it's the different types of population. Maybe it's people who are like regular coffee drinkers, and then there's the people who have several Starbucks cups a day.
Right. Well, yeah.
Which, it all comes down to, regardless of all these studies, everything in moderation, Albert.
Right. Don't go ham.
You suntan for 8 hours every day, you're probably going to get skin cancer, right?
Not a great idea.
But if you're in the sun a little bit at a time, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You're going to have increased vitamin D. You're going to be happier.
Right.
I'm not a doctor, but that just makes sense.
Right. Agreed. And I'm personally very grateful that they're putting out studies saying that coffee drinking is good for you, because now I can justify it. I saw 1.5 to 3.5 cups a day, which means that I am like a cup behind. If anything, I need to increase my coffee. Right, exactly.
There you go.
Yep. All right, next up,
Big coffee.
LeBron James. Ooh, go on.
I was just saying big coffee. Got to watch
big
out
coffee.
for him.
No, but for real, I feel like there is kind of like some sort of like mob. Like
big coffee. It's like big pharma.
Coffee mafia type situation.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. All right. LeBron James continues to promise LeBron James said that it takes a village to help raise a kid and make a true difference. He announced last Tuesday the creation of the I Promise Health Quarters. The building will be situated right across the street from the now under construction House 330. Once the renovations are complete, the West Market Street Health Quarters will offer full medical, dental, optometry, and mental health services and counseling, not only to I Promise students, but also their families in both the general program and the school the foundation operates just down the street. There will be a room for outdoor and recreational amenities as well. It will complement the Promise Housing, also under construction nearby, which will now offer affordable housing options for partner families.
LeBron James, or Akron is lucky to have LeBron James exist.
Very true.
Because
Very true.
he is like pretty much really took in that responsibility of raising an inner city Rust Belt city and trying to make it a little bit better for everyone who lives there right now, which is great.
He really does. Yeah, he pours a lot of his heart into Akron, which is really evident. As a person who lives in Akron, I'm very grateful.
And he doesn't have to, right? A lot of times when celebrities come out of they leave their town, they're like, I'm never going back. Like they don't owe the town anything, really.
No.
It's a good thing to see, regardless of your views of LeBron James, because he's very polarizing recently within the last 3 years. So
yep, he's more outspoken than he used to be.
Yep, but it's been working for him because he just hit billionaire status.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all publicity is good publicity, right?
Sure.
In this case, it is good publicity, and it's interesting to see that he's getting into the health world.
Yeah.
I don't really like what kind of organization is his I Promise organization? Are they just like a conglomerate?
It was like education at first, and now it seems like it's branching out.
Yeah. It's a family foundation.
Hmm.
Wild. It's cool. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, next up, from 1-800 to 988, the mental health version of 911 is set to launch nationwide next month with hopes it will be a game changer for suicide prevention and other emergencies. But some mental health professionals worry they will not be ready to handle the anticipated flood of calls. The new national 3-digit number, 988, is meant to connect people in mental health crises with those who are specifically trained to respond to such situations. The easy-to-remember number launches on July 16th, but most states have not allowed money for the service. Even partial legislation to implement 988 is pending in 20 states. Just 4 states have enacted comprehensive funding plans. I wonder what the holdup is.
I don't know.
It's probably just government. They're slow. Government's slow.
Government is slow. That's true.
It's probably just red tape. It's the bureaucracy of America.
Right.
But hopefully they can, figure this out, because I feel like 988 is a good number. That's a good number to remember. It's easy.
It is.
I wonder why they chose 988.
I don't know. When I was a kid, my landline started with 988.
I wonder if there's how it's like 911, 913, 912.
Yeah.
There's like all the 1s through 9s, the 919. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's a 977. I wonder if that's how far they are now with different numbers.
I don't know.
It'll be like 1,000.
Right. Just dial 1,000 for this.
Right. 988. Remember that. Look it up in your local state registration if you're a mental health professional. I feel like it's probably helpful information to know. And hopefully it gets funded.
Yeah. Sounds like it could be really helpful, especially with more conversations about mental health, especially in the wake of shootings and things like that. Mm-hmm. It seems like those two conversations go hand in hand, mental health and gun control and all that. So hopefully they can make some headway with something like this.
Agreed. And with that, let's go to our next segment.
BREACH, Breach Patrol. It's a breach! All of the latest cybersecurity breaches.
Welcome to Breach Patrol. We talk about the latest breaches all across the world. Oh my goodness gracious, what do we got?
All right, next up, a chink in the armor. Shields Healthcare Group suffered a data breach that exposed the data of approximately 2 million people in the United States after hackers breached their network and stole data. The organization is a Massachusetts-based medical services provider specializing in MRI and PET/CT diagnostic imaging, radiation oncology, and ambulatory surgical services. According to a data breach notification published on the company's site, Shield became aware of the cyber attack on March 28, 2022, and hired cybersecurity specialists to determine the scope of the incident. Some compromised patient information includes social security numbers, diagnoses, billing information, insurance number and information, and other medical or treatment information. The consequences of the security incident are far-reaching and impact 56 patients and their facilities.
Whoa.
Healthcare
organization getting breached. Never heard of that one before.
Weird. We might, it's like we don't have an entire section dedicated to it.
Patient information, of course, under this instance, it is considered PHI because of the scope of the breach dealing with a healthcare organization.
Yep.
Which we know PHI is a subset of personally identifiable information, or PII. But things like diagnosis, billing information, insurance number and information, and other medical or treatment information, that's not good.
Right.
56 facilities is a lot.
It is.
And the breach happened, or they became aware of the breach on my birthday, March 28th.
Wow.
Happy birthday. You're getting breached.
Yep.
It looks like they're still dealing with the impact of this. We're 3 months later.
Right.
And it seems like, they're just this is still just, they're trying to figure out what actually happened and get to the bottom of it. But 2 million people is a ton.
Yeah.
So I wonder if at a certain point, the hackers are just going to breach everybody and there's just not going to be any more information that's private, and
right,
like, hey, do whatever you want. Take whatever information you want from these people.
It's lawless land, the Wild West.
Yeah. I wonder if this organization provided credit monitoring.
Well, they should have.
I would agree.
They don't listen to this podcast if they didn't, because they'd know that's the next step.
That's true. Very true. Hopefully things get sorted out. If you're one of those 2 million people, I would hope that Shields Healthcare Group is reaching out to the individuals who've been hacked. And good luck to you.
Right.
That's about all I can say. Next up, third time hacked in 2022. A Discord server for Yuga Labs, creators of the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT series, was breached around the time of June 4th. The breach resulted in a phishing attack with over $360,000 in NFTs stolen. The server has come under 2 phishing attacks already this year, making this the third occasion in which the server was breached. The Discord account of a Bored Ape Yacht Club staffer and project community manager. The hacked account then posted phishing links and official channels associated with Bored Ape Yacht Club server and its metaverse project, Other Side. The compromised account promised the targets an exclusive giveaway with a phishing link. Yuga Labs confirmed the news of the scam targeting the Discord server in a tweet stating it was actively investigating the incident. Yikes. I think this is not necessarily the result of Yuga Labs not taking cybersecurity system or seriously. I think it's more of just the result of how big the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT got from a popularity perspective.
Yep.
So I think that it's just kind of like a risk that the organization is just always going to have, because they got like globally represented and recognized by like celebrities from everywhere, talking NFL players, NBA players, FIFA players. We're talking Jimmy Fallon. Everybody. So obviously they probably need to hire some more cybersecurity individuals and probably take some precautions in projects or password safety and 2-factor authentication if they haven't already, but I don't really know what the solution is to this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Speaking of NFTs though, I saw Anthony Hopkins, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
He's a 91-year-old.
Yeah.
He's like the 91-year-old actor. He posted on Facebook yesterday and he's like, I'm looking into getting into NFTs. Any recommendations? And he tagged Snoop Dogg, Jimmy Fallon, Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
What
a lineup.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, did he just shot a shot everywhere? He's like, all right, I'm going to try you. I'm going to just randomly picking celebrity names.
Somebody, get me into some NFTs, please.
Yeah, I just thought that was really,
Your boy
really funny.
Hannibal Lecter wants to get into NFTs.
Right, he's ready. He's ready. Next up, when hackers save face. American cybersecurity firm Mandiant is investigating the Lockbit ransomware gang's claims that they've hacked the company's network and stolen data. The ransomware group published a new page on its data leak website last week, stating that the 356,841 files that they allegedly stole from the company will be leaked online. What appears to be a phishing file has been uploaded. Mandiant has reviewed the data disclosed in the initial Lockbit release. Based on the data that has been released, there are no indications that company data has been disclosed. The actor appears to be trying to disprove Mandiant's recent research blog on UNC 2165 and Lockbit, fearing lost revenue because their victims will stop paying ransoms as Evil Corp is sanctioned by the US government.
Wow.
I feel like there needs to be so much context in relation to this story. We've got UNC 2165. We've got Lockbit. We've got Evil Corp. We've got Mandiant.
And the U.S. government.
And the U.S. government's involved. Like, this needs a lot more.
Mandiant looks like Mandiant was not hacked by the Lockbit ransomware that was provided by, wait for it, Evil Corp.
Evil Corp?
Evil Corp?
Like, I'm sorry.
Is
Evil
that a
Corp?
Mr. Robot reference?
I don't know.
Must be. But that's a very specific amount of files. So it's good that, I like that they actually said the exact number of files.
Yes.
I feel like that kind of shows
that's some transparency.
Look, we know that this is bogus. But in the future, for other organizations that get hacked, in this instance, it seems that Mandiant wasn't hacked. Is it they're trying to save face there with this story for the most part. But if you find the exact amount of files, don't round up. Just say, hey, this is it. Like, this is what happened. I feel like that kind of makes some confidence in the team.
True. Yeah.
So
look, you can get your hands around. Like, you really know what's going on.
Right. 100%. It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah.
So good for Mandiant.
Yeah. Not good for Evil Corp. I don't know. I just thought that was really like, when I think of Evil Corp, I think of like Dr. Evil's organization or like something.
So in this instance, yeah, I agree. But like, it says that fearing the loss of revenue because their victims will stop paying ransoms as Evil Corp is sanctioned. So Evil Corp is sanctioned. So the government's like, if you get hacked by them, we're not going to help you pay the ransom. That's wild. I didn't know you could sanction a ransomware.
Evil Corp is sanctioned by the U.S. government. That's a sentence that just makes sense, though. It's Evil Corp. Of course, they're sanctioned by the government. Like,
of course, they're sanctioned. Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they be?
Why? Of course, they're sanctioned. It's Evil Corp. Duh.
Like, send the Avengers after them, or like the Fantastic Four or something.
Yeah, obviously, this is potentially an evil villain, like in the
right. Yeah, this is like cartoonish.
Yeah, this is a villain arc right here, and we need to get the Justice League or the Avengers assembled and send them in. I don't care if it's DC or Marvel.
Right.
Send somebody in
on this podcast.
And that's it for this week's wrap up of your weekly healthcare news. I'm Matt Moneypenny,
and I'm Albert Battistelli.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Bandage Podcast produced by eTactics.